What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah. What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. This is a post-game edition of your Philadelphia Eagles post-game show. The Philadelphia Eagles just rolled the New York Giants in dominating fashion, pitching their first complete game of the season. Now, I'm not going to diminish what this victory means, or I'm not going to diminish who the victory came up against, because this is the same Giants team that beat the Eagles 34-17. 34-17. So you had to get your lick back in dramatic fashion. And you knew the only way to do so was to come into this game buttoned up, healthy as you possibly can be, and not taking your opponent lightly. And from beginning to end, the Philadelphia Eagles dominated the New York Giants. Now, the Eagles didn't have like 2, 3, 4 like scoring drives in a row, but you know, there was a touchdown. Then there was a punt by the Eagles offense. I'm sorry, it was a touchdown. Then there was a missed field goal by the Eagles. Then touchdown, then punt, then touchdown, then that's the end of the half. Eagles come out of the half, field goal, followed up with a touchdown, then followed up with another touchdown drive. And then that's the end of the game. So the Philadelphia Eagles, although they didn't score on every drive in the first half, they were extremely dominant in the second half. I felt like they moved the ball pretty comfortably against this Giants team. Again, a Giants team that made life for you very difficult 2 weeks ago. So I'm not going to sit here and say all of a sudden, it's the Giants. I'm not doing that. I'm not. They took it to the Eagles 2 weeks ago. So you had to handle them this week with the same tender love and care. And that came by way of a 38-20 point victory. Jalen Hurts was phenomenal in this game, but I think it begins and ends with that man, Saquon Barkley, and his offensive line. They were without Cam Jurgens. No Cam Jurgens in this game, by the way. You have Brett Toth in that center. And me and my man, Coach Marcus Thomas of Pro Fan Talk, we spoke about this. We said that we believe Brett Toth is more of a natural center than he is a guard, or he just plays better at the position of center. Nonetheless, Brett Toth was pretty solid today, especially in the run game. And I mentioned this. to Marcus. I said to him, hey, Brett Toth is a guy that went to Army. They don't pass the ball down there. They just run the ball. So he's a run blocking dude. So we saw Brett Toth playing with confidence. We saw Brett Toth in his element. Now, the game did start off with 3 penalties on the offensive line in the first quarter. I think 1 came from Brett Toth, 1 came from Lane Johnson, and 1 came from Landon Dickerson. So offensive line timing was a tick off a little bit, but overall, when you end the game as a team, when you end the game with 276 rushing yards, your largest total since week 12 of the 2024 season, you can't tell me and say the Philadelphia Eagles haven't found their swing. You can't tell me the Philadelphia Eagles don't have their groove back, right? Because they struggled to run against any defense. It didn't matter how good or bad they were. They struggled to run the ball. So you got to give credit to Kevin Patullo, Nick Sirianni, and Jalen Hurts and those guys for coming up with a very balanced game plan and for the offensive line showing up for their best performance of the day while being shorthanded without Cam Jurgens. Real quick before I bring my man Marcus on, because he's behind the scenes chilling comfortably, I want to just run through some of these stats with y'all real quick, and then I'll bring my man Marcus on. This is a phenomenal game by Jalen Hurts, phenomenal game from Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, Tank Bigsby, Jihaad Dotson. This was a all hands on deck type of victory, and they were efficient. They were effective. They protected the football. I do think the Eagles got away with the fumble in the red zone on that tush push. They got away with that. I will say that they got away with that. But that's not the Eagles' problem, right? The refs have to make the call. If they don't make the call, hey, you move on. That play alone didn't decide this game. Nonetheless, Jalen Hurts, efficient, 15 for 20, completes 75% of his passes, 179 passing yards, averaged 9 yards an attempt, 4 passing touchdowns. And I'm not talking about BS touchdowns. Nah. Jalen Hurts gave you a variety of touchdowns. He hit Saquon Barkley on the wheel route. He found Dallas Goedert in the flat. He found who else did he find? He found Jihaad Dotson. He found Jihaad Dotson on go up and get it ball. Jihaad Dotson was one-on-one with his man. Jalen Hurts gave him a shot. Jihaad Dotson climbs the ladder and brings in the tough catch. Jihaad Dotson's been doing that for the Eagles since he's been here. Been making tough catch after tough catch. Saquon Barkley had that 65-yard run. But again, I say, Jalen Hurts with a 26-yard pass to Devontae Smith at the top of the second quarter. I mean, the 9-yard touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley. What else did he do? He had a 6-yard touchdown pass to Dallas Goedert on a quick slant. I think that was the quick slant one, if I'm not mistaken. Like, Jalen Hurts was just on a heater. He was on a heater. And that's 7 passing touchdowns over the past 2 weeks. Jalen Hurts is going into the bye week confident, comfortable. This offense was in a rhythm. The running game is back on track. This game actually reminds me of the previous Giants game from 2024. Remember, coming out of that bye week in week 5, the Eagles had Browns in week 6. Then they had Giants week 7. Browns week 6, Giants week 7. That Browns game was a tough one a little bit. Saquon didn't really get off in that game, but the Eagles won the game nonetheless. I think Devontae Smith scored the game-clinching touchdown on a crossing route. Week 7, that's when, in my opinion, that Eagles offense, that whole team started to work in concert. All 3 phases. Saquon has an amazing game. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown go off. This game, we're going to remember this game for the remainder of the season. Let this be known that this was the game. Actually, one may argue it was the Vikings game, but I'm calling this game because all 3 phases were working. Will Shipley, he had like 3 or 4, like 2 or 3 kick returns, setting up the Eagles on the 40-yard line or at best, or better, excuse me. But again, Jalen Hurts, 15 for 20, complete 75% of his passes, 179 passing yards, averaged 9 yards an attempt, 4 passing touchdowns, no turnovers, was sacked 4 times, had that ugly sack for a loss of 16 yards, but Tank Bigsby fixed that quickly. Ended the game with a 141.5 passer rating. Saquon Barkley, 14 carries, 150 yards. Didn't even play the fourth quarter. Averaged over 10 yards a rush, 1 rushing touchdown for 65 yards, and also had what is it? 4 catches on 5 targets for the day, 24 receiving yards, a receiving touchdown of 12 yards. I'm sorry, a receiving touchdown of, well, it doesn't matter. I think it was 6 yards. Regardless, Saquon Barkley did his thing. 2 touchdowns on the day, 170 plus yards of offense. Tank Bigsby, 9 carries, 104 yards rushing, averaged over 11 yards. What? Longest run of the day, 29 yards on the 3rd and 31. Or what was it, 3rd and 26? Marcus, just ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. Last time we saw 200-yard rushes in the backfield, LaShawn McCoy and what's my man name? Was it Bryce Young? Byron Young? Bryce Hall, whatever his name was, the running back. It's just amazing. Devontae Smith, 9 targets, 6 catches, 84 yards. Exactly what the Eagles needed from him, converting on 3rd and longs and 2nd and longs throughout the game. Jihaad Dotson, 1 catch, 40 yards, touchdown. Dallas Goedert, 3 catches, 3 targets, 2 touchdown catches. Great game. The defense, a lot to get into, a lot to talk about. I'm not going to keep my man waiting any longer. I kind of broke down the offensive side, but again, we're going to peel this thing back layer by layer, brick by brick, piece by piece. And on that note, I bring in the good brother, Coach Marcus.
What up?
Of Pro Fan Talk. Marcus, talk to me, man. Tell me something good. What did you see from that Eagles offense?
I do remember a couple of weeks ago saying that Tank Bigsby could run that peel. He's a much better running back than he is a kick returner.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't hear Brett Tolt's name too much at center, so he was doable at center. Still shot ourselves in the foot a few times, but nothing crazy. I agree with you 100%. We should have lost that fumble. Also, that offensive pass interference. Initially, I thought that was a horrible call against New York. I thought that was a terrible call. Looking at it again.
You saw Slayton push off a couple times.
Yeah. He pushed off twice.
Pushed off twice. You saw the full extension.
Yeah. So I don't think as much of it now. I think that was the right call. I didn't during the game. The whole thing with Scatterboo, everybody saying that was a hip drop tackle. It was not.
It wasn't.
If Scatterboo catches the ball, his body is in a totally different position, falling forward. The problem was he was trying to reach back for the ball. It's a bang play. We've talked about that in the competition meetings. It's hard to. You're not going to be able to stop that. You're not going to be able to stop that because you're depending on the ball carrier, not the guy that's tackling, to do something consistent, and that will never happen in a football game. So I hope they don't find Zack Baun for that.
Yeah.
But
it didn't look dirty. Even the commentators didn't even mark it as dirty. Like they just because they've been the hip drop thing has been pretty difficult. They've been pretty inconsistent with it. But again, Zack Baun, that wasn't a hip drop tackle, in my opinion. It was just a bang play, a nasty situation. Prayers to Cam Scatterbo, man. You don't wish that for anybody.
Yeah. I saw that as soon as it happened. I saw it. I was like, oof.
Yo, when I saw that, I was like, I saw his foot. It was turned 90 degrees,
bro.
90 degrees.
I was like, oof.
Just gnarly. But again, coming back to the Eagles offense. Let's start from the offensive line and work our way out. I mean, second play of the game, Saquon takes it to the crib, 65 yards.
Yeah. The first thing I thought of was I was like, finally, we getting back. Then I watched the replay of it, and I was like, ugh. Saquon doing Saquon things. That was an inside play that he bounced outside.
Mm.
When he initially hit, I believe the ball was supposed to go through the center guard gap on the right. He bounces it outside, but because he hit it up the gut first, the linebackers came in, and there was too much traffic for them to try to get backwards and outside to catch him. And by that time, he was gone. So that was just Saquon doing Saquon things. I don't necessarily think that was a situation where the offensive line just blew everybody off. I think Saquon made the right cut, made the right read, cut it all the way back, saw the lane, and just outran anybody in the second level, and they didn't catch him.
Well, sometimes it's like that, right? Sometimes
it's like
your offensive line does a B+ job and the running back makes it an A+ job.
correct.
Right. And that's
But I
what
bring that up
yeah.
because later on in the game, in the second half, we see them still trying to run inside the tackles with nothing there. But now you see, look at the big runs by Tank.
He bounced on he was bouncing.
Every one of them, but like one. He had that one where he carried like 3 or 4 guys.
That was
up
nuts.
The middle.
That was
but
nuts.
Every other one, he bounced it hard outside, and he beat everybody to the corner.
That 29-yard run at 2nd and 26 was ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, the Eagles had the explosives all across the board. The explosives in the run game, the explosives in the pass game. Saquon, again, I said 14 carries, 150 yards. To your point, maybe Saquon, maybe that first run was more Saquon, but I mean, throughout that game, the Eagles were routinely getting 4 or 5 yards rushing the ball.
Yeah, and he had a couple of good ones. So he was getting it done.
Because think about it. If you subtract the 65 yards from the one run, I mean, that still puts the Eagles at what is that? 85 yards.
Yeah.
85 yards rushing with Saquon. So 13 carries, 85 yards.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Still a good day.
He had a very good day. I felt like there were moments where he was patient. The offensive line
over 5 yards a carry.
Yep. Averaged over 10 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Both of these guys. Good. I mean, it was as a team, they averaged over 8 yards a carry. Jalen Hurts contributed 4 carries to 22 yards.
And Jalen Hurts got sacked 4 times?
4 times, lost for 28. So yeah, and he lost 16 on one of those sacks, which is nuts.
Yep.
So he was doing a good job even when getting sacked, keeping things closer to the line of scrimmage. That was his worst play today.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of them, but nonetheless, this running game, 33 carries, 276 total rushing yards on the game, averaged over 8 yards a carry, 1 rushing touchdown by Saquon Barkley. The running game kept the Eagles on schedule, but Jalen Hurts was constantly punching this Giants defense in the mouth, converting with Devontae Smith. Converting some things with his legs. But this was Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert in the red zone. They just looked like a different team. They looked like the team we remember. They were in a rhythm. I felt like they were in constant control and dictating the action. I think I got to give damn near an A+ grade for everybody across the board.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier today about offense, defense, special teams, and all 3 phases got it together. I thought Devontae was going to get that touchdown. He just couldn't keep his feet. He caught that pass at like the 10, and he kind of spun out of it, but the dude got his legs. I thought he was going to get a tutty on that one. Dallas Goedert, you don't need a lot of passes to be effective.
You don't. Goddard's already having a career year in touchdowns.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of passes to be effective. Get in where you fit in. Saquon, didn't I talk about a damn screen pass today?
That was a nice one. I think that was the 12-yard reception he had.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be super creative, super secret, super clever. But it's still basic football. You still want to get your best player the ball, period. So, and I think we did that. And, I was wrong on Jihaad Dotson, but Jihaad Dotson still had that one phenomenal catch.
40-yard touchdown. I mean, again, Jihaad Dotson has kind of been making those catches for the Eagles the past couple of years. I mean, he's just been a guy that, hey, just give me one opportunity.
Right.
One. And every time it's been big opportunities. I mean, in the Super Bowl, right? Setting up the goal line touchdown for the Eagles. Week 1 of this past season. Jalen Hurts finds him, I think, in the third quarter or in the second quarter for like 50 yards.
Right.
Setting up another touchdown drive. Jihaad Dotson in that Jags game, right? That crazy circus catch from last season.
Yeah.
This catch almost mirrored that, but I felt like he was more in control of his body in this one. This one was a little bit more.
Absolutely.
This one was less luck.
Yeah, he timed it better. And I think the commentary on that DB was they just pulled him off practice squad. So if that guy times his jump a half second later, that's probably a pick.
It's possible. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, again.
But the better guy got the ball, period.
That part. And quarterbacks throw those kind of balls all the time. You give your guy a chance. Make a play. You know, sometimes the quarterback make the receiver look good. The receiver make the quarterback look good. Make it play. You give a
Not
guy a
happy
chance.
about Saquon and the growing though. Ugh.
But you go into the bye week.
You go into the bye week.
So, and they were saying, and who knows if this is true or not, but they were saying they held them up because they had such a good lead in. Right. They probably would have, if it came down to it, they would put him back in. So it wasn't so, but they practiced with caution.
It'll be nice for him to have like 5 days off. Don't do nothing. Sit in the bed, go to treatment.
Do nothing. Yep.
In the bed and ice. In the bed and ice.
They go for a lot of those guys.
For the next 5 days, bro.
They go for a lot of those guys. Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens.
We had a Jalen Carter
AJ Brown. Jalen Carter got a sack. I love that sack by him. What was so beautiful about it was you saw the other guys rushing Dart and kind of directing traffic, right? They created the lane that Jalen Carter took advantage of.
Right.
So what I mean by this, Jalen Carter didn't just rush uphill or downfield, however you want to describe it. He didn't just rush up. He was patient with his blocker. And then the moment Dart made his move,
good Lord.
The moment Dart made his move, Carter gets off the block and gets the sack. Because a guy like Dart, everybody can't just rush him. You gotta direct him a bit and then create the opportunity for your best guys.
And I'll tell you what, man, Jalen Hunt had himself a day.
Yeah, and by the way, Josh Uche, that should have been a strip sack.
Yes,
that should have been a strip sack. That should have been a fumble.
There were bad calls on the refs on going both sides.
For sure. On
both sides. So that's the way they do it. It's funny though. I put a couple tweets up. somebody side-eyeing. And I was like, how the NBA officials are looking at these NFL refs right now.
Bro.
Man, some bad
Eagles had their best day. First game of the season where they've outgained an opponent, and they did it in dramatic fashion. Eagles had 427 total yards to the Giants 246. They held the Giants to 178 net passing yards. And
what was Jalen's QBR?
141. Jalen's his QBR, his passer rating was 141. His QBR, that's that ESPN stat, but the passer rating, for sure, 141.5. Yep.
Oh, okay, I got you. I'm looking at Yahoo. That's what they got a QBR rating.
Oh yeah. Quarterback rating. ESPN created this stat called QBR, but that some people still use QBR as the 3-digit number that we all see. You know, it's weird. ESPN is just trying to be different.
Nonetheless, they both the same thing, so it is what it is. But,
nonetheless, again, Eagles outgained them, and on the ground especially. Eagles, what is this? 276 rushing yards to the Giants 68 rushing yards. Held them to 3.2 yards per carry, while the Eagles had 8.4 yards per carry. Eagles were 3 for 3 in the red zone. Dominated time of possession. Still have a ways to go on third down, offensively and defensively. But they made a lot of plays on first and second down and converted on fourth downs as well. So, I mean, look, dominant game all across the board. All phases did their job. Shout out to Will Shipley. Will Shipley had a great game returning. It's good to have him healthy. He did. Yes, it's good to have him healthy because he set up some great drives for the Eagles. And when he's healthy, he's the best returner on the team by far.
Yeah.
And Bigsby is officially RB2. Like it's no question. He has to get more touches. For him to have that kind of game, right, and spell Saquon the way he did, you got to give Bigsby more opportunities, especially if you want Saquon to make it to the end of the season.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I'm looking at some of the scores already, and yeah, our picks are Houston beat San Francisco.
I know, right?
And Baltimore just destroyed Chicago. I got that wrong too. So,
oh my God, that's crazy.
It might be one of these weeks, bro.
But this goes back to what we talked about with the
Miami won.
Miami won?
Yeah. Oh, 34-10, dog.
Bro.
Wait a minute. Cincinnati lost. The Jets came back 39-38. Yeah, this is one of them weeks, bro, already.
I mean, I'm glad the Eagles won. Don't get it twisted, but damn.
We both got trash picks this week, bro.
Yeah, man, that's rough. That is rough.
I was about to start bragging on my team, man. God dog it.
You know, defensively, Zack Baun had a game. 6 total tackles, a sack, 2 TFLs, 2 pass deflections. Cooper DeJean had a fantastic game as well.
Yes, he did.
He had like one of his best plays was that TFL on Tyrone Tracy.
Textbook tackles again.
Yep, textbook.
That dude is textbook.
Reed Blankenship wasn't bad. N'Kobe Dean had a solid game outside of giving up that N'Kobe gave up the catch to Singletary.
Yeah. I mean, and he
wasn't in bad position. It wasn't in bad position. It was just a great catch by Singletary because the ball was short.
He made a good play on it. That was just a phenomenal catch.
Yeah, for sure. Jalix Hunt, 4 total tackles, all solo, had a sack on the game. Moro Jomo got another sack on the season.
Yes, he did.
Jordan Davis got a sack on the season. Jalen Carter got a sack on the season. And what I told you, this D tackle room for the Eagles,
yeah,
they had to have a day, and they did. 3 sacks between Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Moro Jomo, throwing Jalix Hunt in there. 4 sacks from your defensive lineman. 4 sacks.
What we need.
So you end the game with 5 sacks, 7 TFLs, 4 pass deflections. I think Josh Uche had a good game as well. Again, it should have been a strip sack. They burnt them on that.
Yeah, they did.
Nonetheless, though, great game all the way around. All the way around.
All 3 phases, man. That's what we need. That's what we need. We still got to shore up the run defense just a little bit, but
just a bit. Just a bit.
Good game. It was a good game by N'Kobe. So I like that. It's the first time that I felt in a while that I was like, that's the Eagles I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's the squad I'm looking for.
That's the game they want to play, honestly.
Correct.
Run game, passes over the top, being explosive. You know what I mean? Like they were explosive in the pass game. All game. All game. 20-yarder there, 11-yarder there, 17-yarder there, 40-yarder there.
If we take half of that run game plus the passing game we had last week.
Mm-hmm. And you did this without AJ Brown.
We did it without AJ Brown, and we still spread the ball around.
Yes, you sure did.
We still spread the ball around. So, and if we hadn't been running the ball so well, I think Jalen would have had more opportunities. But this is what you want. You don't want to have to throw the ball in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I think we threw 3 passes maybe in the fourth. We just kept running it. Tank Bigsby was just carrying everybody.
He was destroying them.
I told you that kid could run the ball.
And the thing is, I knew he could run the ball. I didn't understand why they had him back there as a kick returner because I'm like, that's not even what his real experience is. Because I looked at his snaps in those situations. He only returned the ball like maybe 3 or 4 times all season as a Jack last year. And that wasn't like his job.
Yeah. You know what? I think Howie was trying to get a 2-for-1 deal. Like, hey, you ever return kicks? Get back there. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah. And at the time, Shipley was hurt. Nonetheless, man, great game from everybody.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, 4 passing touchdowns on the day. And they were legit. They were legit, man. Let's get to some of these super chats real quick. Marcus, thanks for popping in with me, man. I appreciate it.
Sure, man.
TDK 2343 with the $5 super chat says that was a dominating win from the defending champs in all facets of the game. Payback is a bitch. R.I.P. Nick Mangold. Yeah, R.I.P. Nick Mangold, man, former center for the Jets.
Has passed away.
He gave them 6 great seasons. Passed away from complications from a kidney disease. Man, Rex Ryan really took it hard. He coached that man for his entire time while he was in with the Jets. So prayers to Nick Mangold's family, man. Prayers to him.
For sure.
Blunt with another super chat here. Thank you, S. Blunt. He says balanced attack equals dominance.
Absolutely,
man. No, for sure. It was a balanced attack all the way around, and I just loved how we were so versatile with the play action. You saw the Eagles under center a lot in this game.
A lot, and it makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
Anybody that's watching film, anybody that's going to go back and watch that game, just bring up all of the plays where Jalen is under center. And when we go play action, all I want you to do is freeze frame it. When Jalen sticks that ball out to do the fake, watch where the linebackers are. Watch what the linebackers do. That is why that play action from under center is the best way to do it, period.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Narender with the super chat. Thank you, my man. He says, I saw things I like from Patillo today. outside runs, RB screens, jet sweep under center. Yeah. You saw some jet sweeps. You saw all of that. Yeah, it was definitely a full gamut from that offense. And again, I think also the talent just elevates what they call. Devontae Smith was just so surgical, winning his matchup consistently. Dallas Goedert was money in the red zone.
Yes, he was.
Jihaad Dotson came up big for the dagger, his own dagger, right? Saquon Barkley sets the game all with a 65-yard touchdown run.
Was that the second play from scrimmage?
It was the second play. The first play was incompletion to Devontae Smith.
Right.
Second and 10, he takes 65 yards for a touchdown. TDK says Hurts this year, 1,677 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, one interception. Pardon me. Yeah, Jalen Hurts has been on the heater the past 4 games from a passing perspective for sure. I want to say over the past 4 games, he has how many passing touchdowns? 7, 8.
What are you looking for?
I think he has 9 passing touchdowns over the past 3 games or 4 games. Let me double check this real quick. So I see 4.
His efficiency has got to be through the roof.
4, 7, 8, 10. So the past 4 games, 10 passing touchdowns, only 1 interception, and he's completing well over 70% of his passes over that span. He has 3 games out of 4 with a 100.8 passer rating or higher. His minimum passer rating on that 4-game stretch was a 95.9 against the Giants, and again, that was so-called his worst game of the year. Nonetheless, Jalen Hurts was in full command of his offense, in full control, and he looks remarkable. He looks remarkable.
Again, he only threw the ball 20 times, but only 5 incomplete passes.
Again, completing 75% of his passes and pushing the ball down the field, man. You got to give him credit. 4 passing touchdowns, no tush-push touchdowns.
No tush-push touchdowns.
Shep 412 with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Shep. He said, "Shalom, Tone. That's how you punch him in the mouth on some get back. We're back. Keep up the good work. Go Birds." Yes, sir, man. I think this game is going to be a callback to when the Philadelphia Eagles season turned for the better. I think the identity is being established in front of our very eyes, and I think they also showed in these past 2 games. If it come down to it, we could beat you either way. We could beat you on the air. We could beat you on the ground. These past 2 games were two sides of the same coin. This was a very yin and yang game, and the passing game still was highly effective today. Let's not get it twisted.
Right,
just more efficient. Dingberg Gang with the super chat says Kelly Green gives them boys superpowers. Yo, for real, they are undefeated in Kelly Green. Like seriously, do you know Jalen Hurts? You know what he always say? He said, "All right, y'all, let's break so we can go and put them sexy green things on."
There you go.
Shout out to Dingberg Gang with the super chat. Linda Washington says, "How was Ringo today?"
Didn't hear his name called a lot.
Yeah, I didn't really hear his name called. So I mean, we could call that. You could take that for what it's worth.
Yes. No news is good news.
Yeah, I don't have anything definitive or substantial to say about him right now. I would have to go back and rewatch the game and see what he did. But off the top of my head, he didn't do anything that threw me off. Again, I have to go back and watch the film. But Linda, thank you for the super chat. We here too with the super chat. It says under center is our RPO 2022 and 2025. We ran a couple RPOs in this game, by the way. One of those Dallas Goedert touchdowns was an RPO touchdown.
Yeah, that was a great play. That was a great play. Perfect execution. And not for nothing, great job by the offensive line not going too far down the field.
Absolutely, man. They didn't get called for a legal man downfield once. The lone call for a legal man downfield came against the Giants. K-Sat Spiding with the super chat says, all of a sudden everyone's saying it's just the Giants. LOL. Hurts ramping up his MVP campaign. 5-0 in the Kelly Greens. It's our super suit. Go Birds. Yeah, again, the Giants beat the Chargers. The Giants pushed the Broncos to the brink. The Giants beat the Eagles. Again, they're still a team that's developing. They're still a very young team. They got some key injuries.
Yeah, they just lost a big weapon. So
yeah, but the Giants beat the Eagles 34-17. This game wasn't meant to be taken lightly by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't think anybody should, especially with the way the Eagles have been playing primarily on the season. You can't take this game lightly. I'm sorry. I refuse to. I
agree with you, man. We still, in my opinion, we still are not at a place where the Eagles are just going to step on the field and just dominate.
Not quite.
We still got to work for it. That, to me, that is still not the expectation. Today was like, ooh, okay, now you see what can happen.
Correct.
When all three phases play together. Now we just got to be consistent at it.
I agree. 100%.
This will be a good weekend film session.
Yes, and you're going into the bye 6-2. Remember, when the schedule came out, you had sports pundits, national analysts saying, "Oh, the Eagles would be lucky to go into that bye week 3-3." Oh, I'm sorry, they'd be lucky to go into the bye week 3-5, or the Eagles are going to start the season 1-3,
right?
Like 1-4. Like they saw that schedule. They saw a rivalry game in the Cowboys on Banner Night. They saw going on the road against the Chiefs. They saw going up against a Rams team that has a chip on their shoulder against you. They saw a road game in Tampa Bay. They saw those first 4 games and they said, "Ooh, Eagles be lucky to go 1-3 or 2-2. They'd be lucky." Some people had to start in the season 0-4. Seriously, they started 4-0, had a skid against the Broncos and the Giants, double back, beat the number 1 pass defense, number 2 pass defense in the Minnesota Vikings, and carved them up the way they did, and followed it up with a dominant performance against the New York Giants, a team that you completely underperformed against. Underperformed. So I think this season, in my humble opinion, is on schedule. I think they're in a good place. I didn't think they would go into the bye week undefeated. I didn't think that.
We should have.
We should have.
But,
we should have.
We made it to the bye week on top of the division.
Yes, by a good margin.
That's all we could. That's the best we could hope for.
Yeah.
So let's just get everybody healthy, get this balance going, and just keep it moving.
Yeah, for sure. Again, just going back to the box score, you guys. Let's speak on it from a Giants perspective real quick. Jackson Dart went 14 for 24. If my math is correct, 14 on 24 passes. That's a 58.3% completion percentage. So Jackson Dart was not accurate today. I will say his receivers dropped some pretty good balls from him though. Like for example, the pass down the sideline. I think the tight end dropped that ball. He put that thing right in the breadbasket.
If they ever get rid of Dayball and put some more pieces around him, he gonna be a problem in the future. Yeah,
he's showing something. But again,
he good.
You know,
good.
Let's see who he is in that second season, that third season. You know, like it's easy to jump on the NFL and they don't really have film on you, right? I feel like a lot of the stuff that he does, the league is going to learn him in that way. You feel me?
Right. You're right. You're 100% right. He doing the same thing C.J. Stroud did last year, just with less wins.
Yeah. But yeah, Jackson Dart 14 for 24, completed 58.3% of his passes, 193 passing yards, 178 net passing yards if you adjust it. Averaged 8 yards an attempt, 1 passing touchdown. Also had 6 carries on the day for 17 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Was sacked 5 times. Had a 98.1 passer rating. I don't think Jackson Dart was awful in this game. I don't.
Nah.
But I think them not being able to get that running game going really hurt them in terms of just what they wanted to do.
Defense came up big today.
Yeah. Defense came up big. They got to get better on third down, if you ask me.
I agree.
Offensively and defensively.
When we got a chance to get that quarterback in the pocket, we got to get him.
Yeah, for sure. There was a couple times they honestly should have had maybe 6 or 7 sacks on the day.
Correct.
Nonetheless, they ended with 5. So a good game overall by the defense. Tyrone Tracy, 10 carries, 39 yards. Cam Scatterbull had 3 carries for 12 yards. The good thing about this game is whenever Jackson Dart almost did break one, you saw Jalen Hunt get a stop attacking the ankles. You know, Jackson Dart didn't really break their backs in the run game. His longest run of the day was for 8 yards. And I think that was the actual touchdown run he had. Yeah. So they did a way better job containing Jackson Dart because last time they played, he broke their backs on the ground.
When we had the opportunity to get hands on him, we got hands on him. He broke away two times, converted third downs, and that's just my saying. Other guys get paid too, and he showed why he was the pick. So that's going to happen.
For sure.
That's going to happen. But for the most part, we kept everything shut down, kept everything contained. Still wish we could have managed to get a turnover, but overall good team defense.
Yeah, and sometimes you're going to have those games where you can't get a turnover, right? Can you hold them to 3 points? Can you force the punts, right? As far as I'm concerned, they beat this team 38-13. That last touchdown was a garbage touchdown. Eagles put the backups in. It was what it was. But nonetheless, you beat them by double digits.
Yep.
And this is a big win going into the bye week, 6-2. Big win. You got Green Bay coming out of the bye. After Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken, you have Detroit. Then you got Cowboys, and you got Bears, and you got Chargers. That 5-game stretch is going to really tell us exactly who the Eagles are in terms of the pecking order in this league.
Yeah, we've been there before, though.
We have.
We've been there before.
I liken that stretch to the Rams-Ravens stretch from the 2024 season, right? They had that moment where they had to go up against some legit playoff teams, and it was going to tell people whether or not the Eagles were for real. When you look at that 2024 season, it was, let's see here, it was Washington, Rams, Baltimore, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Washington again. So from week 11 to week 16, it told us a lot about who the Eagles are, in particular with that Baltimore and Los Angeles win, and also beating Washington in that close game on Thursday Night Football when Washington was playing very well. You beat Pittsburgh at the time. I think they only had let me make sure I got this right. At the time, Pittsburgh was, where are you? There it is. Okay. In that game, Pittsburgh was 10-4. Well, 10-3. They fell to 10-4 after that loss. So you went up against a Pittsburgh team that was playing very well. Defense was playing very well. In your passing game, did what they did. And from that point forward, that Pittsburgh team wasn't the same. They limped into the playoffs. But again, I say this stretch is going to tell us a lot about the Eagles.
Yeah.
And it's territory that the Philadelphia Eagles are very much familiar with. And I'm really excited. Jalen Hurts is playing with passion, with consistency. He's efficient. The running game is coming off their best game of the day. Your guys are going to get healthier and get some much needed rest going into that bye week. The Philadelphia Eagles are in prime position to make a legit run here.
Absolutely. All we got to do is get healthy. So the bye week is hitting at the exact perfect time. Get in them ice baths, man. Get yourself together. Please, Landon Dickerson, man, get yourself together, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Landon and Cam Jurgens, get yourselves together so y'all can come back at 100% and be ready to take this second half of the season. It's amazing we already in the second half. Now everybody's maneuvering into position. See what you can get going into the playoffs. This is where it matters. So we got the momentum. We did exactly what we wanted to do in spite of all of the other stuff. We still in the driver's seat to repeat as NFC East champions, brother.
Right.
And yeah, let's get through this bye week. Let's get through the bye week with no injuries. So
right. No practice injuries, no tweaks.
Don't slip down going down the steps.
For sure.
No, nothing dumb like that, man. And Saquon, get your groin right. AJ, get your hammy right. Jurgen, get your back right. Landon, get your knee right.
For sure.
Because we gotta have all cylinders firing for this push at the end. This is where it counts. This is where you make your money.
This is the push. I agree 100%. I'm looking at some of the scores right now. Obviously, Eagles beat the Giants 38-20. Going back to the first leg of the Sunday, Jets beat the Bengals 39-38. They put up 23 points in the fourth quarter, which is insane.
Must have been looking at that Giants Denver game from last week.
Jets had got their first win of the season. Justin Fields went 21 for 32, 244 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Brees Hall.
Oh, so they did play Justin Fields. I didn't even know he played.
They did. Brees Hall had 18 carries for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Somebody owe Justin Fields an apology.
Man, whatever his name. What is his name? Woody, Mr. Woody. What they call him? The owner of the Jets.
Oh yeah.
He
trash.
I like for you to talk like that about Justin Fields when you haven't been relevant for God knows how long. You haven't been relevant before you was on AARP. Like, come on, man, stop it.
21 of 32 for 244. Nice. I mean, that's a decent game.
Very good game. The Patriots beat the Browns 32-13. I expected that. The Browns kept it close in the first half, and then that third quarter came, and the Patriots just ran away with it. Yeah. Drake May 18 for 24, 282 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Drake May is having a season.
Yes,
he's having a season right now, man. They found their guy. The Bills smoked the Panthers like I expected. On the back of their running game, James Cooks had 19 carries for 216 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. I think he had a 64-yard rush in this game as well, or a 60-yard rush. Bills beat them 40-9, man. Bills improved to 5-2 after going on, what was that, a 2-game skid? Yeah, they were on a 2-game skid, losing to the Patriots and losing to the Falcons on the road. Much needed win. Next up, they got the Chiefs. So this is going to be a big game for the Chiefs next week. Big game for the Bills next week as well. Bills got to keep pace with the Patriots because the Patriots look confident. And these next few weeks for the Patriots, they're 6-2, and they got Falcons, Bucks, Jets, Bengals, Giants. I think that's a very favorable stretch for the Patriots.
Absolutely, because all of the teams are not good.
Yeah, or consistent.
Yeah, all of the teams.
They could very well. They're currently on a 5-game win streak. It's entirely possible they extend it to a 10-game winning streak, and then they got the Bills right after that on December 14th. So December 14th, they meet again, and the Bills have to take advantage. The Patriots got to take advantage of the upcoming stretch they have, and the Bills got to just find a way to keep pace and hope for a Patriots loss somewhere. Bills next few weeks, they got Chiefs, Dolphins, Bucks, Texans, Steelers. So I think the Bills got a harder stretch. When you throw in Chiefs, you throw in Steelers, Bengals, Texans, Buccaneers. Like, the Dolphins are a weird team. Like, I don't know what's going on there.
It's a lot of people fighting for their job. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
When you're in a situation like that, and you know, regardless of what happens, there's going to be a lot of people out of jobs. Basically, the mentality is, well, then I'm going to get mine. I'm going to go for mine.
Absolutely.
Because the person next to me is probably not going to be here, or I'm not going to be here. So the only thing I got to do is let me go out, show and prove, and make me some money for next year. Because Miami is not promised. So they're going to get rid of the head coach. They're going to get another quarterback probably in there. So it's going to be a lot of upheaval for the Dolphins coming up for the next year.
For sure. Bears completely lost, like did not take advantage of an opportunity here to beat the Ravens to improve to 5-2. They fall to 4-3. And we talk about this, right? Similar to the Jags, there are these teams who go on these little runs, they get some confidence, right? But then they revert back to who we know them to be. They
come down to
that equity. They come down to earth. They haven't built up that equity to know how to win consistently, regardless of the circumstances. And that's why I look at the Philadelphia Eagles as one of the best teams in football, because they have routinely, when things haven't gone their way, found ways to win. There's knowing how to win is a skill. It's a skill to understand the pace of a game and just knowing when to make the plays and elevating your own game in key moments, so on and so forth. We can't diminish just because things weren't perfect for the Eagles. You can't diminish what it took to win those games, right? And not you, but an onlooker, right? So the Bears, very young team, still figuring it out. That NFC North is very interesting, if you ask me. They're third in the division right now. Vikings obviously are fourth in the division. Then you got Packers, I think, who are 1, and Lions, who are 2, right? And the only reason the Packers are 1 is because of that tie.
Right.
So, look, man, 49ers lost to the Texans. Didn't see that coming.
No.
CJ Stroud probably had his best game of the year. 30 for 39, 318 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. So, and the Chargers beat the Vikings on Thursday. So yeah, man, look, this has been a funny first leg of the day. Buccaneers right now got the lead on the Saints 7-0.
Yeah. And Dallas is losing.
Broncos have the ball. They're up 7-3. They're moving the ball right now. They're at Dallas 25, so they're approaching the red zone. Bo Nix did throw an interception in this game, but RJ Harvey has 1 carry for 40 yards and a touchdown. He has a 40-yard touchdown. Titans are losing to the Colts 10-0 as I expected. And yeah, man, this is pretty much the day.
Pretty much the day, bro.
Keep in mind, you guys, as far as bye weeks go, the Lions, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, and Jags are all on bye weeks. 6 teams currently on their bye week. But your Eagles, great win by them.
We got it done.
Great win.
Handle business.
Great win.
On to the next one. Let's take a rest.
Yeah, for sure, man. Give me your thoughts real quick. I mean, I know we talked about it here and there, but let's just really hone in on Jalen Hurts' play. He looks, first of all, I really like his pocket presence right now. You know, because he's that dual threat guy, you're going to have to pay the cost of some of those sacks because they're holding on to the ball and they like to make things happen and wait a little bit. So that's collateral damage with the position, right? Being a dual threat quarterback. But these past 2 games, man, Jalen Hurts has just been remarkable. And do you think he has a chance, especially with these upcoming matchups? Do you think he has a chance to put his name in the hat of a MVP race?
After a game like today, probably not. I just think that when you're putting yourself in the MVP category, everybody's looking for passing yards, period. They're not looking for wins. They're not looking for no interceptions. They are looking specifically for passing yards, point, period, in the paragraph. Because it doesn't make sense to how many balls has he thrown with no picks? And, you know, we still, 6-2? We got the record. Everything is working. Somebody will try to bring up the BS with AJ or the team is not together. It'll be some type of narrative to it other than the Eagles are finding ways to win. We had our most balanced game to date in 2025, and somebody, somehow, some way will have a problem with it. So, in my opinion, even though he deserves it, now I will reserve that to say I still need let's get 3-4 more games in before we start having that serious conversation. So, because I know there's going to be a lot of guys with a lot more passing yards that ain't nowhere near making the playoffs.
Right.
So you have to take that into consideration. But when you got a national media narrative out there that he's being carried, he's not good enough, ABC, X, Y, and Z. I don't, unless he just comes off and has a game like he did last week where he dropped 300 plus yards. In my opinion, for him to be an MVP candidate, he's got to throw the ball for 250 yards a game, at least. Here on out.
You know, I think it's possible for him to get in on this race. And you bring up a good point. You do want they are going to be looking for the passing yards, but over the past 8 weeks, Jalen Hurts has been one of the most productive quarterbacks in football.
Agreed.
Like without question, and he has the high quality victories. He has the really high highs, right? The Vikings game, the second half of the Rams game, right? He has some signature moments sprinkled into the season. I think he has to stack those. I think if he throws for 200 plus yards and multiple passing touchdowns a game against the Packers and against the Lions, and they win, right? And they win. I think you got to put his name in the conversation. Those are two crucial victories against 2 crucial opponents in your conference that people think that are going to be there in the end. I think it is possible for him to get on his race if, again, the production obviously has to match. When it can't just be about winning. The production has to be in there.
Yeah.
So
because they don't care about just winning.
They don't.
So to me, I think, in my opinion, 225 to 250 is the sweet spot. You got to keep winning, and you got to have some passing yards, especially when you know, because people will bring this up as a negative. Well, you got outpassed by a rookie, even though we got the win. Because to think about the ways that we won, and think about the 2 losses now. Because all we're looking at is what our record is now, right? Nobody cares that we're 5-2. Or are they really going to go back and really look at those 2 losses? Are they really going back and looking at every win and saying, well, Jalen could have done this better, Jalen could have done that better? No, all they're going to do is look at the overall. Well, how many yards did he throw for? How many picks did he throw? How many touchdowns did he throw? That's the measurement. He gets a little bit. He gets bonus points because he hasn't turned the ball over. But there's been plenty of people that have way more turnovers, but they got way more yards too.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe not even the win.
I see what you're saying. Also, I think this game goes into the hat. I know it's the Giants, but this team beat you 34-17. On top of that, you did this without AJ Brown. I think this game is a signature game as well for Jalen Hurts. 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions, no AJ Brown. That's a big that's a big deal. Maybe I don't know how much. I don't know if it's weighted more than that Rams game or that Vikings game. I don't think it's weighted as much as more than those games. But correct. I think it should have some weight nonetheless.
Well, and also let's see what it looks like after the bye week when we play Green Bay, because Green Bay is a much better team than the Giants.
A much better defense than the Giants as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to my dad here with the super with the post, man. Appreciate you, Dad.
What's
my
up,
guy.
Daddy DeShields?
He says, what a great payback. Bring the pain. Flag was fly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Like Philadelphia Eagles, man. This is a big win. This is how the first matchup should have went, but it is what it is. Because we saw in that first matchup the running game was going, then we kind of got away from it and we kind of got predictable, so on and so forth. But regardless, though, Philadelphia Eagles going to the bye 6-2. After suffering a 2-game losing streak, they followed up with 2 back-to-back wins. So, I think these Eagles are trending in the right direction. This is the way you want to go into a bye week. You want to give yourself a lot of high quality tape that you can pull from. And I think this is going to be a heavy self-scouting next couple of weeks, a high level of self-scouting. And I think they're going to take it up a notch. I really, really do.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think this is the first step of really getting it together and, come back, and we are in the back half of the season and you're really trying to tighten everything up so you can make that push. What you want to do is going into week anywhere between 8 to 10, right? Going there anywhere between weeks 8 to 10. Now we're 6-2, so we're at week 8. So let's say week 10 to 12. Really tighten it up so everything is clicking. So you want people to say the Eagles are a dangerous team. We can't be bipolar like we were the first 4 games. We got to be. Today was a good dominant win, even though we know Jalen Hurts' stats might not show that because he didn't throw for 200 yards and everything that.
Over the past 2 games, he's averaging over 200 yards passing.
I know that, but I'm saying it from the standpoint of you already know that somebody's going to nitpick something.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But we are at a place right now. The Eagles are getting it together they are not the team you want to play.
I agree 100%.
I don't think we're quite there yet. We still got some holes on defense. We still got some things to clean up on the offensive line.
Yeah, got to get healthier on both sides of the ball for sure.
But we're trending in the right direction.
You'll get BG in week 9. You'll get Nolan Smith back in week 9.
Totally forgot about BG.
Yeah.
Getting people back in the lineup. That's another good thing to talk about. Absolutely, that's going to make a difference.
Yeah. You'll get Dory Jackson and Jaquorian Bennett back after the bye as well.
Well, Dory.
Well, my point is you get healthier. You just get healthier.
Jaquorian. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what Jaquorian Bennett does, honestly.
We're at a good spot.
We're in a good spot. Now, this goes right into AJ Jones' super chat here. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate you. He says, it's the bye week. Who will the Eagles trade for? Thank you for the super chat, AJ.
I hope they trade for another cornerback. We need a DB. We need a legit DB2.
Yeah, I think I'd much rather trade for a DB than an edge rusher because I think
yes,
because you're getting healthier after the bye week. BG provides more depth. We all know this Eagles defensive line is led by the interior, and they showed that today. 3 sacks between Jalen Carter, Moro Jomo, and Jordan Davis. You feel what I'm saying? Jalen Hunt seems like he's starting to come on as a rusher.
Great game today.
Josh Uche is starting to come on. Right?
Great game today.
Should have had a strip sack.
Yep. Jomo.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean had a solid game. You know, Zach Baun got in for a sack, right?
We hitting the stride at the right time.
They are defensively for sure. Again, I just think they have to improve on third down. Third down defensively, third down offensively. And I think they'll be in good shape. So
this coming off the bye, this is the week where Kevin Patullo's got to sit down and say, all right, we the first half of the playbook, we got it down.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to open it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to show them things that they haven't seen before. Now it's time to open it up. So.
Yeah, you've built up 2 games where you've sprinkled your game plan with a bunch of tendency busters, right? Even though the running game didn't do what it did today against the Vikings, the running game was very much a part of what they were doing in that game.
Absolutely.
And Jalen Hurts was still also just, slicing and dicing down the football field. So they have a lot to build on. They're just scratching the surface of what this offense can be from a passing, running perspective, right? This passing game, I think, is going to go up another level. I really, really do.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, traded for somebody. I think Howie does make a move.
I think he does too.
The question is, what move?
My question is, what are we giving up for that move?
That's a good point as well.
That's the only thing I want to know. Are we giving up somebody that's on the roster, or are we giving up draft picks?
If I'm Howie, you can't afford to give up bodies.
We can't.
You can't afford to give up bodies.
But you never know.
Unless you're replacing that body with that same position and they're like a better talent and you're giving them more picks to get the deal done. But for me, it's got to be a DB. It's got to be a corner.
Got to be a CB2.
It has to be a corner.
Because
you can't get through the season with this Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo turnstile. We don't know what Jacorian Bennett hasn't really shown to be that much better. We'll see, because I don't think he played this season. Barely has.
Yeah, we gotta see what we got, man. Now's the time to do it. So all of those, there will be a couple of free agent signees that we have, and I would tell them, I wouldn't advise traveling this week during the bye week. I need you at the compound. I need you in the film room. I need you to log into that iPad so we can track your hours. So we need to know that y'all are getting ready for this next week against Green Bay, because you might have to play, and we need to see what we need to see what we got.
Yeah, I think these past 4 weeks was a big wake-up call for the Eagles. Your first 4 games of the season, you went 4-0. Your second set of 4 games, you go 2-2. Those 2 games were games. Those 2 games you lost, the games you should have won, and then you did what you did the following 2 games, shifting your fortunes. I think those 2 losses are going to be what the Eagles analyze the most.
Absolutely,
especially defensively. So we'll see where they go. But Darth Panda has a super chat here. Thank you for Darth Panda with the $2 super chat. Excuse me. Darth Panda says Hurts has 20 total touchdowns on the season, 15 passing to 1 interception. MVP season is loading. Hey man, he's been super efficient. He's been explosive. He's doing it from the pocket for the most part.
Yep.
He's extending plays. Jalen Hurts is having a great season. We honestly, if he keeps this up, he's on pace for his best season. This could be Jalen Hurts' best season.
Agreed. That's
Remember,
why I need from him. I need the consistency.
Remember last season, he ended it with 18 passing touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He already has 15 passing touchdowns on the season right now through week 8. already.
Yeah, they're showing the stats on television right now, and
he's on pace for a career high in passer rating. He's on pace for a career high in yards per attempt. He's on pace for a career high in touchdown passes. He's on pace for a career high in completion percentage. You know what I'm saying? All his stats didn't get logged in, but
right.
They're still showing his stats from week 1 to week 7.
He got to be over 4,000 though. He got to be over 4K for people to take him seriously. Not that I don't. I'm just saying from the outside looking in the national media, he got to be over 4,000 passing yards at least.
Yeah.
Because the argument of he just wins, that can only go so far at this point because people are tired of hearing it.
Yeah. So far in the season, he has a total of 1,677 passing yards. He has 1,677 passing yards on the season. That's including today. 1,677 passing yards. His completion percentage after this game is definitely going to go over 70%, or at least at 70% for the season.
Yeah.
His yards per attempt is going to go up after this game as well. His season average right now from week 1 to week 7 is 7.7. He averaged 9 yards an attempt. This game, that's going to go up to at least 8 on the season. We have it right here on the screen: 15 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing, 20 total. Only 1 interception. Has 2 total turnovers on the season. 1 interception, 1 fumble, but I don't blame him for that fumble. Matt Pryor deserves all the blame for that one. So Jalen Hurts 1 interception. Passer rating is going to go up after this week as well. Probably going to jump to like 110, 113. QBR is going to go up. You know, he's doing a lot of his damage from the pocket. A lot of it.
Yeah, and like I said, he just got to be consistent, man. That's it. If he shows the consistency, he will definitely be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, for sure. We have William Johnson here, 4529 with the $20 super. Thank you, William. I really do appreciate you, big dog. He says, anyone who says Jalen is still being carried at this point needs their credentials checked and can't be taken seriously by anyone. Let's be honest about this. Those first 4 weeks, like, this is the best game Saquon's had all year.
Yep.
Hurts carried them to a 4-2 record. Like, defense was okay throughout this stretch. I would give defense maybe a B- grade like throughout this 8-game stretch. Offensive line has been very inconsistent. AJ Brown didn't go off, Smith didn't go off, right? They defense got big stops and big moments. Offense has strong halves, right? But Jalen Hurts has been, and then you did it without AJ Brown today. Jalen Hurts has been, in my opinion, the engine of this offense this season.
Yeah, for sure. And he's been doing it that way pretty much all season now. He's been a little bipolar early, but that's evened itself out with the last 2-3 games. I just need the consistency going towards the end of the season because that's when it matters the most. Not that he can't do it. I just need to see it.
For sure. For sure, man.
Everybody,
this is what you're supposed to do against an opponent like this.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. When you're wounded, you put them down.
Put the foot on the neck and apply pressure. So
simple as that. Yeah, shout out to William Johnson for the super chat, man. Really do appreciate you. Make sure you guys smash that like button. We're live right now on Chalk It Up Sports. We're no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to church to the game. We're also live on Pro Fan Talk, so make sure you guys smash that like button there. We're kind of giving you guys you guys are kind of cheating this week, right? We're kind of giving you guys 3 shows instead of 2. You know what I mean?
And I gotta go. I gotta go eat dinner.
For sure.
I'm going tonight. I'm going tonight again at 10:30.
Oh yeah, just shoot me a text and I'll try to hop in the stream.
All right, I'm going late for the recap tonight. So all my people out on the West Coast, bring friends.
For sure, man. Like
10:30 tonight. So
the channels are growing. You guys have been ultra supportive of the Bald Eagles podcast, man. We're taking that thing to new heights. Marcus, any final words before you got out here, big dog? Any final observations? Anything Any unsung heroes you wanna speak about in this game?
You know what? I will give the unsung hero to Keely Ringo, because if he was horrible, we would know it and we would let the world know.
Mm-hmm.
So he was competent. He played solid today. Didn't give up any passes. That's what we need from him. We'll see what's next.
Yep. Marcus, I appreciate you, man. Don't forget, shoot me that link, and
Yes,
and I'll do my best to try to hop in the stream.
All right, brother. I'm out.
All right, my guy. That was a good one, y'all. Shout out to my man, Coach Marcus, man. Good dude, as always, man. Always love working with him. It's my man. This is my OG. It's my brother in arms. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channels. Again, subscribe to Pro Fan Talk. Also, subscribe to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or we lose, we just got to charge it to the gang. I think that's pretty much our show, y'all. I don't really have much more to say about this game. Let me revisit some of these scores here that's going on right now in the NFL. All right. Buccaneers lead the Saints 7-0. Cowboys. The Cowboys are down to the Broncos 14-3. Colts lead the Titans 17-7. The Dolphins beat the Falcons 34-10. Did not expect that. The Jets came back and beat the Bengals 23-7. I'm sorry, 39-38. Excuse me. The fourth quarter scoring in that game was Jets 23, Bengals 7. But the Jets beat the Bengals 39-38. The Patriots smoked the Browns 32-13. No competition there. The Bills ran right through the Panthers. No competition there. James Cook, 19 carries, 216 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. The Ravens found a way to steal a win against the Bears, improving to 2-5. Can the Ravens go on a little run here and maybe put themselves in wild card contention? At this point, they can hope for a 12-5 season. I don't think it's going to go that way. So I think we're looking at a Ravens team that might end the season 9-8, or maybe 8-9. Entirely possible. But the Bears, man, they're 4-3, 2-2 on the road. You know, they got to do better. They got to do better. They got to do better, man. If you want people to take you seriously, you got to beat teams like this, especially when they're shorthanded. And the Niners lost to the Texans 26-15, man. The Niners have kind of been on borrowed time. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries all across the board, and they finally got by a team who has a 3-4 record or had a 3-3 record at the time. The Texans beat the 49ers, improving to 3-4. 49ers fall to 5-3. Eagles improved to 6-2, so they overtake them in the standings. Vikings lost to the Chargers 37-10. Chargers improved to 5-3. Vikings fall to 3-4. So the Vikings can jump the Bears. It's entirely possible. Their season is not lost. But as of right now, the NFC North is a 2-horse race between the Packers and the Lions. That's how I see that division. And again, your Eagles dominate the New York Giants. Dominated them 38-20. And Jalen Hurts had a spectacular game, completing 75% of his passes, had 179 passing yards on the game, going 15 for 20, averaged 9 yards an attempt, 4 passing touchdowns, no turnovers, no interceptions, had a passer rating of 141.5. Saquon Barkley, 14 carries, 150, averaged over 10 yards a carry, 165-yard touchdown. Tank Bigsby, 9 carries, 104 yards, averaged over 11 yards a carry. Between Saquon and Tank Bigsby, I mean, they combined for 254 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts threw in 22 rushing yards as well. As a team, they ended it with 276 rushing yards on 33 carries, averaged over 8 yards an attempt, 1 rushing touchdown, 4 passing touchdowns. Devontae Smith, super reliable as always, converting 9 targets, 6 catches, 84 receiving yards, averaged 14 yards of reception. Longest catch of the day, 26 yards. Jihaad Dotson, 2 targets, 1 catch, 40 yards. One reception for a touchdown, 40-yard touchdown at that, man. Remarkable. Climbed the ladder, mossed the defender. Dallas Goedert, at one point in the game, had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns, but he ended the game on 3 targets, 3 catches, 28 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, averaged 9.3 yards of reception. Saquon Barkley even got in on the passing game as well. 5 targets, 4 catches, 24 yards, averaged 6 yards of reception, 1 receiving touchdown. So Good game by the offense, complete game by the offense. Offensive line played very well, especially in that second half. The defensive line got sacks. Jordan Davis with a sack. Jalen Carter with a sack. Moro Ojomo with a sack. Jalix Hunt got a sack, right? Josh Uche should have had a strip sack, but it's all good. Zack Baun had a sack, right? Cooper DeJean had TFLs. Zack Baun had TFLs. Just an overall good game, a complete game by this team. Also, let's give credit to Will Shipley. Will Shipley had 3 returns, man. 3 returns for a total of 99 yards, averaging 33 yards a return. His longest return of the day was 41 yards. So Will Shipley, man, was the unsung hero in this game, setting up that offense with prime field position. And Jake Elliott, 5 for 5 on his extra points, right? 1 for 2 on field goal attempts. I think he missed a 58-yarder or something like that. Hit the upright. And, covered his bases with a 40-yard field goal. So overall on the day, Jake Elliott was 5 for 6. I'm sorry, he was 6 for 7. Excuse me, 6 for 7 on the day. And Braden Mann had a really good punt, 57 yards. So look, man, Eagles played a complete game. Play calling was pretty tight, was pretty solid. Jalen Hurts made a lot happen. Saquon Barkley made a lot happen. His offensive line finally got their swagger back. All they got to do is get healthy, and we'll see where things go from there, man. Jalen Hurts is so far having a phenomenal season and is on pace for his best season of his career, if you ask me. I think this will be Jalen Hurts' best statistical season of his career. All right, you guys, that's the stream. That's the show. My name is Tone DeShields II, and you guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.